Sincerest apologies. I didn't know I was muted. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings to all of us who are here. This is Globally Changing Lives Deep Dive. And today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. And this is an official Unpassive webinar. And we are in Deep Dive, where we deep dive into whatever we are working on for the itinerary of the day. We appreciate each and every one of you who has joined us. We have an outstanding agenda for the day. And to start off, we have to get our minds ready for everything we're going to hear today. So let's start by asking our one and only brother and king, Dr. Derek, to usher us into today's webinar with our signature tune. And please, we should also remember that part of our startup meeting is a nonverbal communication messages sent through the music that he's going to play. So let's pay attention to that as we listen and enjoy our sister Lerato Shadare's voice. Over to you, Dr. Derek, and thank you.
To the future we rise high with one on passive. On passive, the future of internet.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Derek. Thank you. Wow. You know, sometimes we tend to forget the journey that we went through to get to this level, to get to this stage in our unpassive journey. There's a saying that there's no way to the end of a journey but to travel the road that leads to it. We have traveled the road that is leading us to the next step of our journey, and to see from the images what has transpired during the last couple of years up to now, where we are in July. This time a year ago, it wasn't the same thing. I can see our COO there, Engineer Nazal, Brother Nazal, and Engineer Kamal, and all the other people, Dr. Susan. That non-verbal communication there from that song is the introduction of where we have come from and where we currently are. So thank you so much, Dr. Derek, for putting those images together and reminding us of where we're heading. The next thing we're going to do on the agenda for the day is to call our one and only Dr. T to talk to us about character traits that wealthy people are drawn to. And the question she has, which she's going to dissect for us, is this you? We don't know. You have to tell us, right? You have to tell us, Dr. T. And who is Dr. Tunishai? She is an international transformational speaker. She's a life coach. She's an empowerment trainer and a former TV talk show host. She's an educator and author of 4 books. And those books, if you ever have the opportunity, I would strongly recommend you consider putting your hands on one. And if you want to, during the webinar, just put some information on the chat which tell you how to get it. And she is a wonderful person who has always been with us on this webinar and other webinars. She inspires us on a weekly basis. And we appreciate you, Dr. T. We thank you for being with us. We thank you for always coming up with amazing ideas and amazing ways to enhance our mindsets as we move along in this journey. So without further ado, I'm going to put myself on mute and pass the microphone over to you, because we know deep down that our CEO has promised us the physical, which is the financial aspect, and you will be the one to provide us with the mindset for the day. Thank you. Thank you, Queen Dr. T.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I want you all to know that you are my inspiration. So my topics come from being inspired by all of you. So thank you again for this opportunity to share, and I hope this message will be something that will touch your hearts and change your mindsets, because this is what this platform is all about: transforming your minds, getting you ready for the next step in this journey. And as Queen Debbie so eloquently spoke what my topic is, I want to just make this statement. Wealthy people choose their friends differently than most people. I'm going to say that again. Wealthy people choose their friends differently than most people. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to look at the character traits that wealthy people are drawn to. And the question is going to be, is that you? So let's see, after my webinar, after my topic, I'm going to find out, is that you? And if it's not you, we're going to look at different areas that you need to work on. And don't worry about it if it's not, if you don't have all these characteristics, because it's always a growing process. We're growing, we're evolving. So I don't want anybody to feel, oh, I can't do that, Dr. T, or that's not me. Don't worry about that. We're all on the same level right now, and we're all trying to reach the top. Okay, so let's get started. Again, my topic is character traits that wealthy people are drawn to. And the question is that you? Who you associate with on a regular basis determines the circumstances of your life. Who you hang out with, the environment, their habits, things that they do on a regular basis. If you're around these people, that's going to impact you. That's going to impact how you pursue your purpose, how you live out your dream, the different things that you draw into your circle, into your life psyche, all the different things that are part of your paradigm, who you hang out with, who's in your inner circle. So that's why wealthy people, when they select their friends, they do it intentionally. It's a conscious effort. They don't forge relationships with just anybody. They make sure that when they choose someone, that it's intentional and it's conscious. And this is one of the things that I want to share with you. I want to encourage you all to think about who you are in this spectrum. As we are going on this on-passive journey, we want to call ourselves wealthy. Remember, there's a difference between being rich and wealthy. Richness depends on how much it deals with dollars and cents. That's all it is. It's money that's a means of exchange. It's dollar and cents. But wealthiness is a mindset. It's a purpose-driven entity. And long ago, I shared with you what the meaning of purpose was. I said purpose is a divine and deliberate mandate from God that glorifies him, justifies why are you taking up space on this earth, and it serves mankind. So if you're not glorifying him, if you can't justify why you are taking up space on this earth, and it's not serving mankind, then you're not walking in purpose. And if you're not walking in purpose, you will never understand what it means to be wealthy. Now, you can hit the lottery, somebody can give you an inheritance, and you can even draw money from your wallet, from on passive. And that'll just make you rich, but it won't make you wealthy. We're going to look at the characteristics of a wealthy person, and we're going to look at what those things are. How do we want to draw? Do we want to draw someone that's wealthy? You want to ask yourself, if I met a wealthy person right now, and we start a relationship, would that person want to be in my life, or would I repel them? So let's look at some of the characteristics right now of what a wealthy person looks for in a friend, in a spouse, in associates, the whole 9 yards. Yes, even in your spouse. I mean, if you're married right now, there's nothing we can do about that. But for those of you who are waiting like Dr. Benny, hold on tight. And you want to find out, if you are looking for your mate from on passive, you want to make sure that he has these character traits. This message is for you, Dr. Benny. It's for you. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. I believe with all my heart that a wealthy person, one of the most important character traits of a wealthy person is a person that has a relationship with God. Yes, a relationship with God. Spiritual compatibility is very, very important in your relationships. And I believe that when a person is wealthy, when they're pursuing purpose, when they're driven by accomplishing their dreams, when they want to make impact, when they want to be world changers, they have to have a spiritual relationship with God, because God is the one who gives us the ability to get wealth. Did you know that wealth building is a covenant? This is something that God promised our ancestors in the Bible many years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago. He promised us. It was a covenant that he made. And the word of God in Deuteronomy 8:18 states, but remember the Lord your God, for he is the one who gives you the ability to get wealth. And so the covenant is confirmed by a covenant, by your ancestors. He swore this to your ancestors, and it is applicable today. Right now, today, he's letting you know what he promised. What he promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the ones who preceded afterwards. He's letting you know that right now, today, that he is the one who gives us wealth. He is the one who gives you purpose. He is the one that gives you that dream. So when you are walking in wealth, true wealth, that means that you're going to take this money, and again, remember, money is a living entity. You're going to make that applicable to where you're going forth, where you're going in life, on your life journey. So again, the first trait that I believe that most wealthy people look for is a person who has a spiritual relationship with God. They recognize that God is the one who gives us the ability to get wealth. Another characteristic is having a positive mental outlook. Having positive mental outlooks. And that's what I think about the people who are on passive. When I watch those YouTube channels, I listen to Red, Marty, Chris Johnson, Mr. Ash McFarlane, and other ones, and they're always talking about going forth, being patient, having a positive outlook. I don't care about how it looks. He made a statement. I was watching a webinar. He made the statement that he knows that there are people who are suffering financially. Things may be hard. He said, well, what do you want to do? He said, would you rather me launch this now and it not be right, and we have to go back and do it again, start all over, than to go ahead and get it right the first time and launch it and there's no turning back? And I thought about that. I said, I want that. I want to make sure that everything is right. I want to make sure everything is in tune. I want to make sure that everything is, all the wheels and whistles are correctly running. And that way there will be no turning back. There will be no stopping. And so in order for you to be a wealthy person, have that wealthy mindset, you have to have that same positive mental outlook that things are going to be all right. Things are going to be all right. And that's how a wealthy person thinks. That's the mentality of a wealthy person, because they're purpose driven. It's not about just money. If you're just waiting on money, then yeah, you're going to be impatient. But if you're looking for purpose and you're looking for that catapult to take you to the next level for your dream, then you're going to have that positive mental outlook. Another character trait that wealthy people look for is trustworthiness. Are you trustworthy? Are you a person of integrity? Are you someone that's going to be there to the end? Can I put my life in your hands? Can I put the lives of my children in your hands? Can I trust you with my most valuable possession, whatever that might be? That's a person that has integrity. That's a person that you know that in the end, that everything is going to be all right, because I know this person standing next to me, they have my back. I can trust this person. So that's a very valuable trait that a wealthy person looks for in a relationship. Another one is encouraging attitude. Do you have an encouraging attitude? Do you always find yourself trying to get somebody across that hump? Are you the one that always gives good advice? Rooting somebody on, saying you can do this. It's not over until it's over. I haven't heard the fat lady sing yet. It's going to be okay. A person who has a wealthy mentality, that's a person who has an encouraging attitude. They see that glass being half full, not half empty, for themselves and for you. Whatever you're going through, that's the person that's going to have your back. That's the person that's going to always push you forward and say, come on, keep going. I know you feel like stopping. I know you feel like giving up, but you can do this. That's a very, very important characteristic of a person who has that wealthy mentality. Another trait is having a passion and enthusiasm. Are you a passionate person? Do you have enthusiasm about what you're trying to do? Think about the things that you want to do when you get your unpassive money. Are you passionate about that? Do you have a mission in mind? Do you have your dream map? I told you about your dream map that y'all want you to make up. Do you have that already? Your dream board. Have you put things on your dream board, visualizing yourself doing those things? It should spark a passion and enthusiasm. Every day you get up in the morning, you should have something to look forward to because you're passionate about it and you're enthusiastic. A person who has a wealthy mentality, he's passionate. He or she, they're passionate. They're enthusiastic about life. I don't care what it looks like. They're going to find something good in it. They're going to find something good in it. Say, if they may slip on a banana peel, they say, oh, well, I just got to take a day off and enjoy and watch my favorite movie, whatever it might be. But they're passionate and they're enthusiastic. Another characteristic is their discipline. A person that is pursuing a relationship to have somebody that's wealthy in their lives, they want to see if your person is disciplined. Are you disciplined? Now that's something to be trained about. Everybody's not disciplined. That doesn't come easy. That's something that takes hard work for you to make sure that you're steadfast in something. You start something, you finish it. You give yourself a timeline and you finish. You're not all over the place. You're not a procrastinator. You're a person who puts something in a task in front of them and they go forth and get it done. A person that's disciplined in their eating, a discipline in how words come out of their mouths, a discipline in their life. Every area of their life, they find discipline. And again, that's a process. That's not something that comes overnight. That's not something that you're born with. That's something that you have to create and work at. So a wealthy person is looking for someone who's saying to themselves, I am working on being disciplined. Is that you? Another characteristic is loyalty. A person who's wealthy needs someone to be loyal. When I think about Mr. Ashmafara and all the people that are in his corner, I know that you would agree with me that they are loyal, dedicated people. They're not going anywhere. I don't care what happens. Any of the things went flop. I believe that each and every one of those people, Mike Ellis, Michael Wilson, all those people, Red, Marty, Dr. Derek, all those people would be right there. They're not going to sit there and throw them away if things don't happen in the way they want it to happen. And I believe it's going to happen just fine. But in case it doesn't, whatever reason may be, I believe that he has a loyal group of people who will stand by him. And those are the kind of things, that's the kind of trait that you want to have in your life. That's the kind of person that you want to be, a person that's loyal. So that's a very important trait that a wealthy person looks for. Do I have a person or people around me that are loyal? Another one is having individual accountability. You have to make sure that you understand that you are responsible for everything, every decision that you make, 100%. If you make a poor choice, 100% is your choice. If you make a good choice, 100%, that's your choice. And that means that whatever the consequences may be, you are accountable for that. And a person who's wealthy, they don't want a lot of excuses. They want to make sure that when something doesn't go right, or even when it all goes right, that you take accountability for those choices. That's a wonderful trait to have, being accountable for your actions, for what you say, for what you do, for where you go. Accountability is a wonderful asset to have especially when you're trying to be around someone that's wealthy and you're trying to adapt and be able to have that wealthy mindset. And another one is financial stability. Dr. John, myself, Dr. Derek, Queen Miriam, we've all talked about finances. We've all talked about financial stability. Why would I want to be around a person who lives from check to check because they don't know how to manage their money, because they're materialistic, because they're trying to live like the Joneses? I don't want to be around a person like that, and nor would you, especially if you're trying to pursue wealth. So a wealthy person, they want to be around somebody that has just as much as they have, or they're working on that. It's not about not sharing. It's about a mindset. If you're the kind of person that you spend your money foolishly and you're living from check to check and you can't make ends meet, not because you're on a fixed income per se, even a person on a fixed income should still be able to manage their bills if they're not living above their means. We've been talking about that, guys. Queen Miriam's talked about that. Dr. John has talked about that. I've talked about that. Don't live above your means. A person who has a wealthy mentality, they have financial stability because they know how to manage their money. Is that you? Another character trait for a wealthy person to be drawn to you is having good work ethics. Whether you work for someone else or you work for yourself, are you a person of integrity? Do you know how to put in a good day's work? Are you going to treat if you have your own business, are you treating your employees fairly? Do you give them a fair wage? Do they enjoy coming to work under your leadership? If you work for someone else, are you putting in a day's work if you're not taking breaks unnecessarily? You're not clocking out and leaving before you're supposed to. Do you take these long lunch breaks? You're not supposed to do that. Are you a person of integrity? Are you a person with good work ethics? You work hard, and it's important to you that you do a good job, whatever task you're given. And you're the kind of person, you'll even go beyond the call of duty That's a person with good work ethics. They don't have to be told to pick up the piece of paper. They don't have to be told to put the ink back in the printer or put paper back in the printer. They don't have to be told that because they understand that this is production. This is a job, and we're here to get something done. They're supposed to be productive. That's a person with good work ethics. And a person who has a wealthy mindset, they look for that characteristic in a person that they want to befriend. A person with a good work ethic. And another one, gratitude. Are you a person that's grateful? Or are you a person that's always complaining? That's not right. That's not right. I wish I had that. How come I don't do this? How come I can't do that? What's going on over here? What's going on over there? Or are you a person that wakes up every morning? Good morning, God. Thank you so much for this day. Even if I don't have much, I have my life. My lights are still on. My gas is still working. I have a vehicle in the garage. My children are alive. My children are safe. Thank you. I thank you for my breath. I thank you that I'm in my right mind. Are you a person that's grateful? Or do you wake up grumpy? No. If a person is pursuing wealth, you have to have an attitude of gratitude. Because I'll tell you right now, there's somebody out there worse off than you. Worse off than you, whatever you're going through. And if you want to build wealth, if you want to have a wealthy mindset, then you must have an attitude of gratitude. You must be grateful for whatever state that you're in. Give thanks. Give thanks. And let your Creator know that no matter what's going on, I know you got my back. And that's a person who's grateful. And when you're wealthy and when you're pursuing wealth and you try to draw someone who's wealthy, they're going to look for, are you a person that's always complaining? Are you a person that's always giving praise? That's a wonderful characteristic to have. And the last one I want to share is having good habits. Having good habits, Lord. Having good habits, guys. You want to have good habits. I don't want to be around a person that has poor hair hygiene habits. I don't want to be around a person that has no self-control. That we go to their home and everything is in disarray. I want to be around a person that is disciplined. I want to be around a person that has good habits in every area of their lives. And a person who is wealthy, they're drawn to someone that exhibits good habits. And when you exhibit these habits or these character traits, I promise you, you're going to draw someone that may be wealthy. How about you being real close friends with Mr. Ashmafara? If Mr. Ashmafara had a chance to spend time with you, would he be drawn to you? Would he say, hey, I want to spend a little more time with that young lady or that young man. I want to get to know them better. Because he's one of the people that I know, we know, that is wealthy. Not only is he wealthy, but he's rich. So he has the physical, and he has the mental, and he has the spiritual. So I take my example from him. When I see him on the webinars, I see him on YouTube, he exudes wealth. He exudes a man of purpose. He exudes a man of a big dreamer, and he wants to share it with you. But is he the man that will be drawn to your characteristics? Are you going to just display characteristics that are always gloomy and doomy? Are you going to say, hey, I'm in to win it, and you really mean that? These are the kind of characteristics we want to look at. I want to share with you right now a scripture. I've found a few scriptures, and I want to share them with you. I want to look at Proverbs 22:1. And it says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. Let me say that again. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. In other words, your character. That's better than riches, okay? And loving favor rather than silver and gold. When you have a good character, when you have good character traits, your character exceeds any value of silver, gold, any riches. That's more important. That's more important to God, and that's more important to someone who is pursuing wealth, a person with a wealth mindset. Let me share another scripture. Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Let me say that one again. Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. In other words, you don't want to be around stupid people. You don't want to be around people who just live their lives any kind of way, toxic people, because what's going to happen? You're going to suffer harm. No good thing is going to come to you. You want to be around people who are thriving to do what's right. You want to be around people who have integrity. You want to be around people who are honest and loyal. You want to be around those kind of people who have a purpose. They're purpose driven. They want to do things that are going to glorify God. They want to do things that's going to justify why they're taking up space. And they want to do things that want to serve mankind. I have a few quotes that I want to share with you too. This is by Booker T. Washington. Now, some of you who may not have been born in this country may not know our history. But this is Booker T. Washington is an African-American educator, author, orator, and advisor to many presidents of the United States. This is what he used to do when he was alive. This is the quote that he had. He says, "Associate yourself with people of good quality, for it is better to be alone than to be in bad company." Let me say that again. Associate yourself with people of good quality, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. It's better to be alone than be with the wrong person. Here's another quote. This is an unknown author, though. I don't know who did this, but I found this quote, and I want to share this with you. This unknown author says, "You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose carefully." Let me say that again. I like that quote. It says, "You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose carefully." You become who you spend time with. Remember I said that before, that the person that you spend the most time with, they can affect your circumstances. They can affect how you pursue your dream, or if you even get a chance to pursue your dream. You don't want to be in bad company. If you want to have a wealthy mindset, not only do you have to have the physical, like Dr. Derek is teaching us, it's not about just the money. It's about having a wealth mindset, which means what? Pursuing purpose, having a dream, wanting to make an impact, learning how to be a world changer. And I promise you, when you apply the traits, when you think about the traits that I just shared with you, think about, are you that person? Are you the person that a wealthy person would be drawn to? And if you're not, it's okay, because we're going to work on those things, because everybody might have all those qualities. That's something you can work on. It's a process. But let me do a recap so we can go over the ones I just shared with you. The first one I talked about is having a relationship with God. Having a relationship with God. That's the first one I shared. The second one I shared with you is having a positive mental outlook. The third one is trustworthiness, having integrity. The next one is encouraging, having an encouraging attitude. The next one is passion and enthusiasm. The next one is discipline and tenacity, having that discipline. The next one, loyalty. Individual accountability is another one. Financial stability, good work ethics, gratitude, and good habits. When you begin to operate in these character traits, then you have arrived. You are on your way to experiencing wealth, because you're going to draw wealth. When you exude these wealth traits, you're going to attract a person who's wealthy, a person that's truly traveling down that road to pursuing and living out their dream. That's what I want. So again, be like the wealthy, have that mindset, and remember, you're in it to win it. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the one time before I say anything, any comment, I will say, you nailed it this Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to the next one. But today, you just opened my antennas. I hope there is going to be a follow-up of this session. I wish you can do it. As you were speaking, I was having a flashback about better to be alone than with bad company. My first experience as an African woman from a country that has nothing and from a family that had nothing in New York State and working at the United Nations. I had next to my office a woman from Jamaica whose husband is from Panama. And I had so many issues. Half of the trades that you talked about, I didn't know who to go to, and I turned to her. And this is what she said. She asked me if I knew who Booker T. Washington was. And I said no. And she said, you better be alone than be with that bad company. Mm-hmm. She was discouraging me from doing things. And I said, why don't you want me to do it? And so I'm going to, the reason I brought this up is because I have had so many questions over the years about this statement, be alone than bad company. So I have a question for you, Dr. T. How do you know what bad company is in the beginning when you start socializing with individuals? Because when you meet someone, you cannot judge them on face value. How can you determine that right when you meet them?
You know, they say that you cannot judge a book by its cover. And that's talking about a good book that may have a bad cover. Maybe the cover's not real good. And there's a saying that you cannot judge an apple by the outside, because sometimes you can bite into an apple that's beautiful and it has a worm in it. Okay? Initially, some people are going to show you who they are right away. Some things are just evident, Queen Debbie. You know, they're saying that if a person is hanging out at a bar, or if they're always cursing, how they dress, you know, how they talk, you know, the kind of people that they're around when you initially meet them, those are signs. But now a person that may be putting on the front, they may be dressed nicely, smell nicely, they might be educated, you know, they might be kind of hard to tell if that person's good for you or not. Okay, but I promise you, you know, one of the things I always tell people, and this is anybody, before you go into a relationship, pray. The Word of God says to trust Him and lean not unto your own understanding, but in all thy ways to acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. He will direct your steps. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. You know, ask God, is this person friend or foe? If you cannot discern right away if this is a good person, then God will show you. He will show you signs, because initially you might meet somebody that seemingly has it going on. We all run into that. Oh, the person's dressed, especially the opposite sex. You know, ladies, we're turned on by guys who dress nice, smell nice, got the nice suit on. He may have a good job. He may be driving a nice car. He looks like he has it going on. But if you spend time with him, you find out that he's cheap. He still lives with his mom and not trying to get away, not trying to do any better. Okay? He's a womanizer. Do you understand where I'm going with that? But initially, he looks good. Same thing with men looking at women. You know, you find a woman because men are attracted by what they see. So you might meet a woman and she has it all going on physically. But when she opens up her mouth, you realize she doesn't know anything. She's an airhead. Okay? She wants to hang out with the bad crowd. She's a smoker. She drinks. She's doing drugs. But the first initial contact, she's beautiful. So you may have to spend time, but initially, some people are going to show you right off they're not good for you. And others, you're going to have to ask God to give you discernment. And if you're serving God, like I said, the very first thing I mentioned was to have a relationship with God. And I believe that when you do that, you put Him first, He's going to show you, it may look good, but don't go that way, because He's going to allow you to see something. They're going to slip up. That individual is going to slip up, and they're going to show you their real, true colors.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I hope I answered the question. Like I said, so
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Even extended more than I had anticipated. I appreciate it very much.
Okay. Because sometimes you don't know initially. Sometimes because some people put on a good front, especially when they're trying to impress you. But then if you get to know them, God will show you. He's going to show you. I'm talking about friendship too, not just romantic relationship. I'm talking about friendships. You know, the person who got me into on pastor, forgive me, but you know, this young lady is brilliant. Do you know that she hasn't even gotten? She's not even part of the process. She hasn't even set up her ecosystem yet, and she got me in. She's lackadaisical. She's a procrastinator. You see my point? These are qualities that a wealthy person would not have a tolerance for. It's like, wow. You got me into the organization. You're nowhere near where I am. Your lifestyle, you're so busy, you're all over the place. You don't have any discipline. These are qualities that are turnoffs. I still love her, but she's not in my inner circle. She can't go with me, although she got me in. I don't know if that makes sense. No, that don't even make sense to me. Don't even make sense to me. How'd you get me in the organization and you're not even in? I don't get it. But anyway, good. Next question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So
Thank you very much, Dr. T. I appreciate it. Thank you. Queen JW.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you so much, Queen Debbie. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Dr. Derrick, for allowing me to speak on the platform. Thank you, Dr. Benny, and all the brand ambassadors. We're in it to win it. Dr. T, I'm going to copy Queen Debbie's famous word. You nailed it. You actually nailed it. You do it every Tuesday. But let me tell you, this was right on the money, because this is showing us the characteristics that we need to have to be successful, to be associated with others that is of the same mindset. So I can resonate with each and every one of them. They're all important. Every last one of them that you mentioned is extremely important to our very being, to our existence, to our life, to humanity. So thank you so much for bringing those characteristics to us. Even if we don't have all of them, we can work on developing them, especially the part associate ourselves or oneself with the right people. Because I know of people that associate themselves with the wrong people, and they, like you said, they become those people and they become comfortable and they are left behind. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Queen JW. Thank you. Thank you. Queen Dr. Benny.
Oh man, you know what to say. You know what I want to say. So, thank you so much, Queen Debbie, for giving me this opportunity. Queen Dr. T. Well, let me not steal Sister Debbie's stuff. I would say remarkable presentation.
You can steal it anytime you want.
You nailed it! You nailed it! Oh no, this is awesome. No, well, there's something that you said, despite the fact that you called my name. Well, the first thing is having a relationship with God. It is very important. But, Dr. T, some of these men will still pretend that, let me say, they are going to church, right? Because that's what I like, right? But within, they're playing over my intelligence. But anyway, one statement that you made, I should pray to God first and ask God, is this person the right, let me say the right man or the right woman as a friend to me? Dr. T, there are a lot of women that you may think when you look at them, they love you. Sometimes they pretend. But Dr. T, I am learning a lot when it comes to this relationship, male, female. Like you said, we should pray to God. And that's what I'm going to do. God comes first to me anyway. And I noticed that you love God more than anything else, because our CEO stated that the force talked to him, and he made that statement, either I do or I die. Thank you so much, Dr. T. I appreciate you, and I love everything that you said. Discipline, loyalty. Jehovah God, I will be careful, and I'm going to pray to my Father first. Thank you.
May I make a statement? And I don't mean to be rude. I really don't. I don't want to be out of order. But
Yes,
somebody
please.
put something in the chat that I want to address. And the person didn't say it out loud. They wanted to know something about God has a name and we need to educate ourselves. I didn't see who made that statement because it came up and it went down. You know, God has many names. If you're talking about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I know who that is. Okay, and if I offended anyone because I didn't say our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you know, let me say now that He is my Lord and Savior, and I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not trying to appease you, whoever made that statement about being educated, but God, the Father, has many names, whatever you want to call Him: Jehovah Jireh, Rapha, Nisi, okay, El Shaddai. You know, I call it I am, the great I am, all those different names. But I know that Jesus died, he was rose on the third day, and He's sitting on the right hand side of our Father. His name is Jesus. That's my Lord and Savior. Okay, so I'm not offended by that, but you know, for you to make that statement, you know, I don't know where you were going with that, because I said to have a relationship with God. We have different people on this platform. It's not about offending anyone or not offending anyone. Okay, like Dr. Benny said, you know, she always talks about Jesus. Nobody questions that, but He is my Lord and Savior. I serve Jesus Christ because I know the work that He did for me on the cross. But I'm going to always acknowledge that God is the head. He's the Godhead. He's the Father. And to say God, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. So I was not trying to be offensive, and I do know that He has a name. All right, but for the sake of this webinar, I was trying to just give you an overview of character traits of people who are wealthy. So let's not take things out of context, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. Appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. Benny. And just a side comment. Let's just respect each other's beliefs.
Yes.
Because not everyone in our platform is a Christian or
Right.
believer. We have
Right.
atheists, we have Hindus, we have Muslims, we have non-believers, we have a lot of things. So
Yes.
we should not judge any presenter for anything. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Brother Adrian, please go ahead and unmute yourself, and then we'll go to the next topic of today's webinar. Brother Adrian, are you still here with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome. Good
Evening.
evening or afternoon. I don't know what time of day it is for you.
Yeah, it's evening.
Welcome.
But I just want to say thanks to be able to speak. That's number one. And I'm happy that I could be a part of this webinar. Dr. T, awesome. And that's all I can say, awesome.
Thank you.
Because there are things that you have said that it's not just something that we should apply to our lives. It's something that should be our lifestyle. Now, when
Yes.
you mention about the fact it's that Booker T. Washington mentioned the quote, and I was listening to the question that Queen Debbie asked, how do you know? Well, let me say one thing. The Bible said, by their fruits you shall know them. So if you see a fruit on a tree and it's an orange, yes, it's an orange tree.
Yes.
An apple tree, same thing for a mango.
Yes.
You're not going to find an orange on a mango tree.
Right. I hope not.
So yes, by their fruits you shall know them. And sometimes just by 5 minutes of conversation, you can
Yes.
tell if you want to be friends with that person or not.
Right.
The only thing we need to do most of the time is listen twice as much as we talk.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
you can hear something
Yes.
to know if you want to be friends with that person. Because we are creatures of habits. So we always tell on ourselves.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So it's not hard to know if you can actually, if you want to be friends with that person. And yes, If you have a relationship with God, you cannot. There is no way you're going to go wrong.
Yes.
Yes, and I said God.
Yes, I understand.
So, based on the thing that you just addressed, Queen Debbie, you are right. There's a lot of people on this platform, and regardless of what that person meant, I wouldn't even go into my background, because if he's talking about El Shaddai, Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, doesn't matter which one.
Yes.
Because the Bible only mentioned, depending on the version that you're reading, I am that I am.
There you go. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. I am. Yes.
So,
yes.
Don't let me start preaching.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
But there's a time and place for everything.
Yes.
So, sometimes we don't mean to offend people, but sometimes people need to read the crowd before they speak. Now, that's what I had to say. And as I said, awesome presentation. And just think about it this way. By their fruits, you shall always know them.
Yes.
Sometimes they take long to bear, but yes, you still will know them by their fruits.
Yes. And may I say something else before we go to the next segment? You know, like I made the statement before, we're growing. Everybody, no one is perfect. And that's one of the first things I said. You know, we're evolving. You know, I mentioned several traits. Maybe you're not that disciplined person yet. That's a skill. A lot of people who may be in the military, you know, they're learning to be disciplined. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are people who may have been, you know, like my father was very, very disciplined because he was in World War II. Okay, but my mother, she was a pack rat. You know, she was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But he still loved her. But he was disciplined because he was taught. But maybe if he hadn't gone to the military, maybe he wouldn't have been that disciplined. It's just, you know, some people are taught that way. Sometimes it might be in their character, how, you know, just how they are. But we all are growing. You know, this was not to attack anyone. This particular webinar is just to have us grow and be the best that we can be. And it's a process. It's a process. And all I want to let you all do is you examine yourself and find out where you need to come up in. You know, it's not about criticizing you. We just want to come up and be better. So when we get ready to get this money or get these nuggets or whatever you want, apples, whatever you want to call them, and get ready to start pursuing purpose, these are things we won't have to work on because we've already mastered them, or we're mastering them. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you. Thank you for that presentation. And we're looking forward to the next one. And we thank everyone who contributed to Dr. T's presentation today, and those who are just here with us, following us, and listening to us. So that ends our mindset for the day. Our mental self is in good shape, and we're moving to the next segment of the webinar, which is Power of Oatmeal. That is still part of communication. We use oatmeal to communicate with one another. We use tools to communicate visually, in writing and otherwise. And we have one person who is going to help us through that. We have our King, who is always here with us. Rain or shine, winter, summer, whatever, until we go our separate ways enjoying the world, we will still be hanging around him because he has this one Jamaica that he wants the entire global world to support in any regard, shape, and form. Please let's welcome Dr. Derek Clark as he shares his knowledge, which is a handful from everything to anything about the power of oatmeal. Dr. Derek, thank you for all you do. Thank you for giving us this platform to air our views unconditionally, and you don't stop anyone to talk when they are ready and prepared to talk. You do not intervene in anything. You're just all ears and on your feet as always. We appreciate you, and we thank you for bringing us together. The microphone is yours.
Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our global ambassadors. Really appreciate you all. Thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Really appreciate it. And most definitely, thank you very much, Queen Dr. Tunishai. Really appreciate that mindset. Most definitely. Please remember that this webinar is a webinar where every person can express themselves. So let us not get into Bible class, because this is not a Bible class. So let us not get into Bible class mode. However, a person, as long as it's not profanity, lewdness, anything of that nature. If a person believe in Jah or Jehovah or Allah or Buddha, it doesn't matter. Let us not try to get too twisted on how a person express themselves. All right, because they have the liberty. That's what liberty is about. And we have been liberated, but a lot of persons don't act liberated. And that is why there's so many wars. Because if I don't think you are saying the thing how it's supposed to say by my standard, then obviously I am upset with you and what you say. But there's no need, because I am expressing myself, you are expressing yourself, the other person is expressing. So let us not be correcting a person's way of expressing who they believe in. And who they believe in, who everybody believe in, it's just who they believe in. Now, when we have a Bible class, then if there is a correction, then that is done in Bible class. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, and thank you very much all those who spoke. Queen Jacqueline Warner and First Lady Queen Dr. Benny, of course, Mercy and King Adrian, and thank you all very much who expressed themselves with respective to where that presentation, because that presentation was awesome. It was an awesome presentation, really, seriously, an awesome presentation. And I thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Okay, all right. When it comes on to the power of oatmeal, it's basically we need oatmeal to do anything in the ecosystem. That's how powerful it is. It's a powerful tool, not for just communication, but it's the most powerful tool when it comes on to login. Because if you don't have a oatmeal, you cannot log into the ecosystem where all the other products are. You don't use OConnect to log into the ecosystem. No. You have to log in with oatmeal to get to OConnect. So oatmeal is very, very powerful. And so therefore, you and I need to just promote oatmeal. Really. Especially like now, seeing that there's no money to get right now. There's no oat tracker to get right now. There's nothing to get right now. But oatmeal to reserve the person right there in your user. And so that when the go button click to commercialize, then as Ash Mufara said, listen, your goal right now, all right, let me tell you your goal right now with O'Meal. Your goal right now is to try to have 1,000 user before we get to commercial. That's where you should be. That's you want to know what you need to do right now? Share your affiliate link. Share your affiliate link. Share your affiliate link. Share your affiliate link. But don't talk about opportunity. Don't use things like a business. Don't use those things. Right? You want persons to check out O'Meal. That's what you want. You don't want people to check out on passive. You want people to check out O'Meal. Check out O'Meal. This free mailing service that is second to none. You want spam free? Spam free is what you will get. So that is what we need to share. We need to share with persons because listen, we are going to correct the corruption. That is what, and one of the major corruptions that we have is the emailing service that we have right now. And so when you look at all of these mailing service, Gmail, Yahoo, iCloud, Outlook, Hotmail, AOL, Proton, and all of those mailing service that is out there, right? We recognize that all of them have what is known as a spam folder. All of them, spam folder. Why do you have a spam folder? Why? Why are you going to have a spam folder? Because obviously, you know that people are going to get spam because you sell their information to other people. So therefore, you're going to get spam. They know you're going to get spam. So they put a spam folder in the midst. But fortunately, that corruption has changed with O'Meal. Because when you go to O'Meal, where you can import your contacts and you get unlimited storage space. Let me say that again. Unlimited storage space, right? And so therefore, if you look anywhere in our menu, our O'Meal menu, which is inbox, priority, draft, sent, outbook, schedule, trash, and folder, which means you can create folder. So if you look anywhere here carefully with a magnifying glass, with your phone magnifying glass or with a regular magnifying glass, if you look anywhere, there is no spam folder. Very important, and that is very powerful. Very powerful. Why? Because obviously we are not going to sell your data. How we know we're not going to be selling your data? Aren't we on X or Y or Z data center? No, we are not on X, Y, or Z data center. We are on our own private, built from the ground up, top of the line, artificial intelligence, etc., world-class data center. So we don't rely on anyone else's data center. So therefore, all your information will be secure and very secure. And with the secure folder, you can also add to more security. All right. And so O'Meal, organizational communication in a hassle-free manner. Switch to an easy and effortless way to communicate at your workplace. And your workplace can either be with a company or your own business or your own thing, right? And so what we need to understand is that, of course, oatmeal is the best thing since sliced bread. And so, as we said, the power of oatmeal, and of course, therefore, you need to log in with your oatmeal, right? You need to log in with your oatmeal address, well, your ID, because the other part from the is there. Every person is going to be logged in with a OES, on passive ecosystem. And so you go to oatmeal, and of course, oatmeal is a regular mailing service. Regular mailing service, just like any other mailing service. You communicate via oatmeal. So you can communicate with Gmail and Yahoo and AOL and that and all the mailing services there, out there, you can do. As I said, there is no spam folder anywhere here. So you can check out your calendar and set up your calendar and put in your dates and so on. You can import your contacts and get your contacts going, just like any mailing service. And these are the settings, not confusing, not complicated. You put in your name and all of those good stuff. And of course, settings for signature. Some people like to have a signature and all of those things at the end of their email. So same way, at the end of your email, you can have your signature put in place by clicking on the create signature, create a new signature. I already have one set up here. So if I click on edit, right, it's right there. You know, you can put anything, name and number, and whatever you want to put. Maybe you might want to put other things there. Whatever your signature is, it will appear on all your outgoing messages, right? Signature for mail, or you can put signature for reply and forward. So all your mail would not be having that signature on it, only signature that you're replying to a mail or you're forwarding to another mail, right? But most people put signature for mail. So every signature, every mail that is going out from your mail has a signature. We have an auto reply feature, which means if a mail comes in, there is an automatic response that goes out to the person, letting the person know that yes, one, you received the mail, and of course, whatever you want to maybe have him look at. Maybe you might want to point him to a website, or you might want to point the person to a YouTube channel or something. Whatever that is, you can put that in your auto reply. These are rules that you can create to put other, potent to you what you would like to have in your email. Then of course, folder lock, because remember there is email folder that you can create. And of course, auto follow, which means that you would be able to set, like maybe 2 days after you send your first email, this is my follow-up email that I want to send, and you can set the date. That's all right. I send an email today, so let me send a follow-up maybe the 27th, and then another follow-up on the 29th, right? So every 2 days or every day, you can set that follow-up for your mail. And of course, yes, you'll put it to the person who you're sending it to, etc., etc. If it's Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you select those scheduled times, etc., and you type what you want inside of the body. And you scroll down a little and click on save. All right. So that is follow up on your OMail, right? This is your dashboard that gives you everything, an overview of everything that is happening on your OMail. 23 mails that is in inbox, priority, not etc., etc. So this gives you a full dashboard of what is happening. And of course, storage, right? Storage. So I have nothing using right now. And of course, remember, it is unlimited. Something that others don't give, unlimited storage. They put a limit on your storage so that you have to be cleaning out and cleaning up. And of which that is good sometimes. But then you have spam, and that takes up more than half of your storage with others. All right, but we don't have those things going on here. So fortunately for us, we are good to go. All right, this is the last thing I'm going to show, which is the folder. So you can create a folder, call it maybe bank. So all your bank emails or OMails will come to this bank folder. So you'll have a little color code going here. So all my banking thing is blue. And of course, yes, I want a passcode. So that passcode is 4 digits, only 4 digits. And of course, you click save. And it says save correctly, save successfully, right? And so therefore, you are good to go with a banking folder in your folder area, right? And you see that it's locked. So to unlock it, to even see in there, you have to click on the lock padlock, and then you'd have to put in that code. So nobody can take a quick peek into that folder, because they would have to be there doing that digits, right? And you alone will know about it. And see, it says, right, so I'm gonna push it out because it says that there's no mail inside there. And so let me lock it back. So the folder, so the lock is open, and I can delete it, and I can lock him up back, lock back my folder. All right, so that nobody come and look inside here. Maybe I jump up and went to the restroom, and you know, somebody want to peep in my folder with my very, very, very important or secure things that I need to be secure. So yes, let us share this affiliate link and get people with the powerful OMail service that we have, because this is one of the main, well, this is the main tool, the only main tool that you will use, that everybody is going to use to log into their ecosystem. So let us share your OMail by using my affiliate link. So just copy, don't try to highlight this. Don't try to highlight it, because when you try to highlight it, you're going to leave off a few things. And so people might not be able to go into your registration page because of how you copied. So please click on the copy right here. Click on the copy and copy successfully. And then you can go to OTrim and trim him up. All right. Or you can click on send invite, and you choose your template, of course, right? And these are one, right? You choose which one, accept here or accept there. But yes, you're going to choose one, right? And then you're going to, of course, put in the email address there and click send invite. All right. I prefer to copy and paste it because when you're sending an invite, you can only send it to emails. But when I copy here, I can send it in WhatsApp. I can send it in anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, right? I can send that anywhere where I so desire, right? And how you do that, you can make sure if you're on a computer, right? Please to activate your WhatsApp on your computer by going to web.whatsapp.com, and this QR code will come up, and you use your phone and scan the QR code in WhatsApp on your phone. So you go to WhatsApp on your phone and you follow that which is on your screen in order to have WhatsApp on your web browser. All right, it's very advantage. It's a good advantage to have WhatsApp on your computer if you are a WhatsApp person. All right, especially when you're getting your webinars in WhatsApp, then, and if you want to use your computer, then this is the good way to go in order to have your webinar link on your computer through WhatsApp. All right, so that's the best way to go. All right, and so let me go back again. All right, and so that is it. Very, very strong, very strong and powerful, very powerful email, OMail, which is the power of OMail. It is what we use to log into our ecosystem. So it is very powerful. Maximum storage, unlimited storage, very powerful. Can also send video mail, very powerful. Speech to text, text to speech, and speech to speech, very powerful. So a lot of things is features that OMail has that many other mailing service don't have. So it is a very powerful solution, and let's get it out there. Let's forward it and share it with persons. For those who want to be active, let us share, let us share, let us share. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you. OMail. Oh my goodness. Talk about one-stop shop. OMail is one of those. Thank you. I'm sure during your presentation, I already see Adrian's hand is up, but I'm sure there are several others who have questions that cannot wait and are dying to ask you. So, hello, people. I'm sorry if my voice is not that time like Dr. Benny, but she's going to come up. If my voice is not the right one, I'm just thanking my brother, and I'll pass it over to the right voice. So say, kindly please raise your hand if you have questions for Dr. Derek regarding what he just shared with us, and any other thing which you might have had questions for and didn't have answers or response to. This is the right time to do so. And we have a lot of able global ambassadors to help us. And I'll see that Queen Dr. Benny, is your system functioning properly now?
Yeah.
Dr. Benny? Oh, great. All right, because I know in the beginning you had issues. We couldn't see you. I was hearing your voice, but not seeing you. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, Dr. Derek, can we do this in on YouTube?
Cut it off.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much again once more for all our viewers who have signed in today, our listeners who will be watching after today because of the nature of their jobs. We thank you for listening. We thank you for joining us. And we appreciate our live audience. And thank you for being with us today. And we'll see you again on this forum.